So Coulomb's law states that the force between two very small charged objects separated in a vacuum or free space by a distance which is large compared to the size of the objects is proportional to the charge on each object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. The force always acts along the line joining two charged objects. So now Coulomb's law stated that the force between two very small objects. So this is very small charged objects separated in a vacuum or free space by a distance which is large compared to the size. The distance should be which is large compared to size of the object. So that is the primary condition it has to meet when you are defining the Coulomb's law. So then only this is valid. Okay, so how the force is proportional to the charges on each object. Okay, proportional to the charge on each object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So proportional to charge on each object is nothing but the product of the charges. Inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two objects. Any statement based on law can be modeled into a mathematical equation. So that is a very important one. So based on the statement, you have to write the equation of Coulomb's law. Okay. So now, what is the statement? There are two objects. So let us say object has a radius r. This object has a radius r. The distance between them is, let us say, capital R. R is far greater than R. This is very important. This is the first condition. Now these are the charged objects. So on this object 1, this is object 2. Object 1, let us say charge is Q1. On the object 2, let us say the charge is Q2. F be the force. So generally it is the force is always represented force. Force is always represented by F. F be the force. So measured in Newton. Okay. Is directly proportional to the product of the charges. And it is inversely proportional to square of the distance between. What does it implies? F is proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. When you remove the proportionality constant mathematically, so definitely you'll get a proportionality constant K. So with the experimental studies, the K is found to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught. What is the magnitude of the force? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So what is the epsilon value? So it is a constant 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Faraday per meter. You can write always this in this form 1 by 36.5 into 10 to the power of minus 9 Faraday per meter. When you are doing the problems, it will be useful. So this, instead of writing this one, if you write this one, instead of writing 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 Faraday per meter, if you use this 1 by 36 by 10 by, it will be easy when you are doing some calculations or problems. In which direction the force acts? The force acts always along this line joining. That is also very, very important. So this is the line joining. Along this line joining, along this line only the force acts. This is object 1. This is Q1. This is Q2. This is the line joining R1. This is 2. So I will define like this. F2 1 bar. This is the force on to due to on charge or object, charged object 2 due to 1 due to object 1. The force on charge on due to, so the direction will be like this. So R is the distance, R bar is the vector, AR is the unit vector. Then F21 bar is equal to, okay, definitely the magnitude. What is the magnitude? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So how do you give the direction to it from 2 to 1? AR can give the notation, the unit vector from 1 to 2, or else you can give the notation like this: bar 1 2. The force on the charged object 2 due to 1 due to charged object 1. I'll define. You can define anyway, but for similarity, I'm defining like this. So this is the force on charged object 2 to 1. You have to multiply with the unit vector from 1 to 2, that is AR 1 2. What is the unit vector AR 1 2? So AR suffix 1 2. What is the unit vector here? R bar by mod R bar. What is mod R bar? Mod R bar is R. So the equation F12 bar is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R cube. So don't think that this is proportional to inversely proportional to R cube. Okay, it is, I am multiplying with the unit vector which is having a magnitude 1. So it is proportional to R square only, but when I am writing in vector form, so this is the, so R12 bar. Here also AR12 means R12 bar, R12 bar. So mod R12 bar. Okay. So now if you write F21 bar, okay. So when you write in F21 bar, how it will be? So this is F12 bar, then automatically this is F21 bar. How do you define it? The force on object, that is charged. This is charged only. Object 1, object 1 due to charged object 2. So how do you write F21 bar? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This is unit vector. What is the unit vector? AR21. So what is AR21? R21 bar by R21. So this is also So what is the final one? If 1 bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r cube into r2 1 bar. So this is so to avoid confusion, you can write R12 also. Anyway, R12 mod R12 is equal to R21 is equal to, I can say it as R, because they are equal. You can represent with R12 or no need of this one. Okay. So this is how we define the Coulomb's law. So what is important? The important factor is, the important parts of it is, the force is proportional to the charge of product of the charges, directly proportional, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And the force, very important, the force acts always along the line joining the two charged objects. That is very important. And one more conditional, what is that? The size of the object should be far less than the distance between the two charges.